This is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, today's podcast episode, I want to talk about something that on the surface probably seems very simple, but if you don't put it into place, you can be almost guaranteed that you're not going to be successful building a business around your passion. Now, what is a simple thing? Well, it's deciding who you want to be. You know, a lot of us don't decide who we want to be. What we do is we are on autopilot and we roll out of bed. And the version of us today was the same version that was here last week, last month, last year. And in some case, you go back maybe 5 or 10 years and that person hasn't changed at all. And what you're going to find is that if you are the same person, what you're probably doing is you're having the same thoughts, you're taking the same actions, and you're getting the same results. And you can almost guarantee that whatever big dream, whatever big goal, whatever the thing is that you'd like to achieve, hasn't got any closer to you in the last 12 months, maybe a couple of years. And that is because the version of you right now isn't ideal for this big dream or this goal to come about. Now, not that there's anything wrong with the type of person that you are right now, but if the type of person that you are right now was the type of person who was able to achieve that goal, you'd already be there. But right now, for a lot of us, that gap has always been there, and we don't seem to get any closer to the goals and dreams that we have. And what you need to do is you need to decide on the type of person that you would like to become. I mean, consciously decide, not just kind of roll out of bed every day and just fall into the same role, just going on autopilot. You know, maybe to explain it a little bit better, and maybe something to remind yourself as you're going through your day, I want you to think about 2 ballot boxes. And I want you to think of a ballot box with the label current life. And then I want you to think of another ballot box that says future life. And I want you, as you're going through your day, have a look at how you're actually voting with your thoughts and with your actions. Are you voting for your current life? Or are you voting for your future life? Now, you can be almost guaranteed that at the end of the day, if we were to empty out the 2 boxes, you would probably find more votes for your current life. And even though you mightn't like your current life, even though you maybe would like things to change, you have to realize that your actions and your decisions are keeping you where you are. So what you need to do is you need to switch off the autopilot. You need to grab control of the steering wheel, and you need to steer yourself in the direction of the dream that you want. So you need to consciously decide, who do I need to be to get there? Now, while that's all good and well, having this mental picture of the ideal person that you want to be, you need to back it up with actions. Because I can simply decide here today, well, I'd like to be a popular podcaster. I'd like to have videos all over YouTube, all over TikTok. I'd like to be known all over the internet. But if I'm not taking actions of recording podcast episodes, of recording videos, of trying to put as much content on the internet as possible, do you really think that's going to happen? So you need to first of all decide on the type of person that you want to be, but you need to back it up with the actions. And while it's all good and well deciding here, it's going to be the actions that you take are actually going to start to close the gap. It's going to bring you closer to your dreams and goals. Now, when it comes to taking action and changing our lives, what we need to decide is we need to decide, I need to take responsibility for this. I need to take responsibility for where my life is going. And if I want my life to change, well, then it means it's up to me. I need to start turning things around. Now, too many of us don't want to do that. We don't want to take responsibility for our lives because it's a lot easier to blame everyone else. It's easier to blame our parents for the bad upbringing, that we had no money when we were growing up, and, you know, I've got a poor education and I grew up in a bad area of town, and I'm going to blame the government, I'm going to blame this, I'm going to blame that. But when you're blaming everyone else, it puts all the kind of responsibility on them. It takes all the pressure off you. It feels great in your own case because you're not to blame for everything, it's everybody else. But then when you put everything else in charge of your success, it means that all those things need to be right for you to be successful. It means that you needed the perfect parents, loads of money, better educational system, a better government for you to be successful. Now you can be almost guaranteed that that's never going to happen unless maybe you've got a magic wand and you can click the wand and everything changes overnight. But in the real world, if you want things to change and if you want to take responsibility back, you need to take back control. You need to say to yourself, you know something, I need to own up to this. I need to own up to the fact that, I had this dream, this goal of this thing that I wanted to come about, but I didn't do anything to change it. I didn't do anything to change my thoughts, how I felt about myself, and I didn't change the actions that I was taking. Again, a lot of us don't want to do that. We want to blame everyone else for us not to being successful. But if you want to be successful, and if you want to have a good shot at getting to that dream, that goal that you want right now, it's up to you. And what you need to do is you need to draw a line in the sand. You need to say no more of this old life. You need to decide, well, if this is the type of person that I'm going to be, well then I'm going to change what's going on in here, and I'm going to change what's going on in the physical world. Now, you probably do need to make changes up here in the beginning, because there probably is a lot of mental programming, maybe lack thinking, maybe lack of confidence, lack of belief, and all those things that could be stopping you mentally. So you will probably need to spend some time up here, clearing out house, putting in a lot of positive information, a lot of maybe personal development work to improve what's going on in here. But you also have to realize that things in the physical world that are stopping you right now are things that you need to overcome. You can blame, where you are right now because a lack of knowledge, lack of equipment, lack of time, and all those things are stopping you. But again, you need to take responsibility for it. You need to say to yourself, okay, right now I don't seem to have a lot of time to work on my business. So what I need to do is I need to find ways to claw back time. Maybe watch less TV, spend less time on social media, maybe do some work maybe on my lunch break at work or whatever. But make changes. And it's only when changes come about that changes happen. A lot of us want our lives to change without making any changes, without any discomfort, without getting outside our comfort zone. But really, if you take the same actions that you've took yesterday, day before, and they have proven that you're not getting any closer to your goal, well then you need to realize that you do need to make changes. You need to add a new ingredient into the mix in your day so that by the end of the day, you're going to get a different result. And you need to realize that the version of you, while nothing wrong with you as a person, but you need to realize that you're not good enough to get to the big dream and goal that you have right now. So as I said, it's a simple thing when you think about it. That we need to decide on the type of person that we would like to be. But that's just a starting point. Deciding on that type of person needs to be backed up with your actions and doing whatever you need to do to close that gap from where you are to where you want to be. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I hope it maybe opened your eyes and maybe gave you some things to think about. And if you have any comments or if you'd like to get in touch, please do leave a comment below this podcast episode. And as always, thanks for your time today. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.